Where have all the good men gone, and where are all the gods? Where's the streetwise Hercules to fight the rising odds? Well, isn't there a white knight upon a fiery steed? Do you ever wish that your higher self would just come upon a fiery steed? And late at night I toss and I turn and I dream of what I need. And you hear, I need a hero. How do we quantum jump our emotions and our beliefs so that we find ourselves in a place where we become a hero by transcendence, through walking through a doorway or over a bridge that finally cuts the old world off forever, and we begin to see miracles and we begin to pat ourselves on the back going, good job. I'm so proud of you. And, I don't know. It's like a whole new world. Something, 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 something. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know the words. Welcome to Forest Fairy. My name is Mary Moses. You are in my bedroom. We are about to go into the office where we do an ancient art technique called scrying. In this class or in this room, it is not for me to teach you something for you to believe in something that I believe in. It's really about that I'm a portal. I use my body for the Holy Spirit, divine source, the Great Spirit, to use me for truth and life energy, and I could be wrong. So my job is to push you into you so that you hear God, you hear your higher self, you are aware of how your mind works, you are aware of how your emotions work, you're aware of your actions being a prayer. And when your mind, your actions, and your thoughts and all of these things go into this particular balance, you find a power that you didn't know existed, and pop goes the weasel. Here comes the magical rabbit out of the top hat. And we realize at a certain precipice that we're leaving an old paradigm and our old self and an old timeline. And we must persevere and balance and retrain ourselves and rebirth ourselves into a new person so that we can enjoy a new world, creating a new world together. That's the vibe I get from Ashley. We're going to be reading today, and from Ashley is creating a new world, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. Something, and let's see, is my little teddy bear awake? Say hello. Hi.
My name is Teddy Ruxpin.
Hi, Teddy Ruxpin.
Can you and I be friends?
Maybe. Not really sure what your intentions are. Maintaining the heart of a child is paramount. This is why we get very childish here. I don't like the ego. I tell you guys I can be wrong. I say that I don't like the accusing spirit. I don't like hypocrisy. I don't like judgmentalness. If I somehow start to sound that way, well, you can shoot bubbles at me. And I will feel it, and I will tell you I was a jerk. And I don't want to be a jerk because we get along best as human beings when we have the ability to have the heart of a child and to feel comfortable so that when you walk into my presence or I walk into your presence, you say, I have these ideas, but I could be wrong. And I say to you, I have these ideas, but I could be wrong too. These are truths that I'm hearing for myself, but I honor your truth. And I'm so glad that you're here because I can feel your energy and I love it. And so it's the energy of the moment that we really love about each other, not what we believe, not our ideas, not anything else. Right, Roby? Yeah? Oh, who do you have here? A little baby doll you have on your lap? Is this your baby? You like it? You do? Oh, I love the baby too. She's so cute. She has little shoes on. Yes, I know. You want your tickles today? Tickle time? Is it tickle time for you? Yeah. Oh, you love that, don't you? Want to say hello to Birdie? Birdie is in the belly of the tree, and the birdie and the fairies live inside her belly, full of lights. Hi, Birdie. You want to say hi to TikTok? Hi, TikTok. I love it. So welcome to Forest Fairy. If you want to visit my website, it's forestfairy.com. If you miss any portion of this live, you can go to Mary Moses Art on YouTube. I do meditation songs on SoundCloud, Mary Moses. And, well, let's get started. We're going to go over here and knock on the butterfly door. Here's also a magical room where we have lots of deep discussions and we allow ourselves room to listen and explore some of the things that we see in symbology. It's my understanding that in the beginning was the Word and the Word was God, right? So the descriptions of God from many different religions and ideals seem to describe God as a frequency and invisible energy because word is sound and sound is frequency. Also, my understanding of gods is that they are bodies of time. They are a place where we as souls grow, and in that body, God can manifest as a person, an animal, or thousands of people at once. When you are in the body of a god, you get pushed and pulled until you find your balance, basically. And this is what we're seeing a lot in our art. So welcome, welcome. Hello, Zoltan. You want to say what you think today? If Zoltan is a jerk, if he says something jerky, we're going to blow bubbles in his face. You ready?
Because you hide nothing from the world, the answer is no. He who creates hope through a balloon and a heart illustrates that if you place your private life in public, you forget that invisibility is a superpower.
Invisibility is a superpower. What? I know that's true. I do know that's true. I've seen it a million times. Learning to become invisible is really just saying, F it. You jump off the cliff and you just hope for the best. You trust that there is an invisible world. This is why I don't do tarot cards. This is why I don't get into the stars and the planetary alignments and the zodiac signs, because I know that we have an invisible self. Our born again self is invisible. We are visible. Spirit is invisible. There are visible planets and then there are invisible planets. Everybody always talks about the visible planets. Nobody talks about the invisible ones. I do know of one group of people that talks about an invisible planet, and that is Sirius C, the dog star. It is an invisible planet. And so when we're talking about the physical reality, we're talking about the perception of the mind. But our heart focuses on formlessness, which is the invisible. And so this is my world. Hello, welcome to my world. I am the invisible one. And we see the invisible come forward in this art technique. If you've seen me go live before, you know the story. If you've never seen me go live before, then what's up with you? I've been on TikTok almost 5 years, and I've done thousands and thousands and thousands of readings. And miracles have occurred during these readings, and extraordinary truths have come forward, and they seem to be pretty repetitive in nature. So we're starting to go, what? Huh? What? And then we just take the information, gobble it up, digest it, dream about it, talk to people, get witnesses, and see whether we really believe it or not. So it's not about believing what you see. It's about seeing if your heart can see the truth, not your head, if that makes sense to you. So Ashley, welcome. I love you so much. Thank you for loving me back. When you're a child, you look at somebody and you say, you're my best friend, even if you just met them, because children live in the moment. I could be somebody's best friend in this very moment, and then tomorrow, maybe I don't ever see them again, but that's the mind of a child. Yes, you can. You can be best friends with somebody. So let's be best friends right now and have our best friend communication with spirit. I saw that you were out of the water bouncing things. It's almost as if you were taking a ball bouncing on lily pads. And this is about where you throw your thoughts and hoping for the best, right? And hoping that your thoughts take you to the correct timeline and the correct butterfly effect. Here is Mushi the butterfly. We're going to anoint your piece with rose essential oil. Why? Because a healthy human being resonates around 100 hertz frequency. A compromised immune system, you will resonate about 60 hertz frequency. If you are about to die, sniff, sniff, you are about 25 hertz frequency. If you want to get close to God, think in terms of frequency with your diet, your relationships, your thoughts, your cleanliness, and a myriad of things. Your body is a holy temple. So like rose essential oil, it has 320 hertz frequency, and not to mention the kiss of Mushi probably gives you 5,000 hertz. We don't know. You ready? Spirit already told me a song for you, and Spirit says it's not all the words. There are particular words for you, not all of them together, because if you put all the words together, it seems like a love song. But this song just has a couple of words for you. You ready? Suddenly, life has new meaning to me. There's beauty up above we never take notice of. You wake up and suddenly you're in love. Each day I pray this love affair won't last forever. Ooh, suddenly life has new meaning to me. There's beauty up above and things we never take notice of. You wake up and suddenly you're in love. Woo-hoo. Your eyes are stars. Your mouth is a rainbow bridge. You're wearing a cloak over your head. This is Spirit telling you you must protect your mind and perhaps take it a bit further and maybe only wear high frequency clothing like cotton and linen, which is cotton is 100 hertz, linen is 5,000 hertz frequency. There is a leprechaun looking individual over here wearing a leprechaun hat with a paper on the leprechaun that looks like a couple of things. It's almost like it's and he's holding a and he's knocking on the door of your castle, and you have this place, and it's a big place, and you're wearing a crown, and you have a snowflake on your head. Oh, your song should be, the snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like the swirling storm outside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always had to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Oh no, well now they know. But let it go, let it go. You are one with the wind and sky. Let it go, let it go. They'll never see you cry. Here I stand, and here I'll stay. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. So you do have like a fairy dress. Whenever I see a dress that is tethered on the bottom, this is a communication of your Taurus field, or the net of your energy. So this is your energy was cut. You went into a different world. You made it above the waters of the baptism of water. You went through a judgment. You were looked at. If you don't believe in judgment, I don't either. Let's say it's something else. You're on a stage. There are these old men like like the Muppet Show. It's time to start the music. It's time to light the lights. And these old men are like, ah, ha, 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 ha. Well, anyway, there's an angel and there's these people watching like in a judgment stand. And this means that you've been sorted. Now, the leprechaun goes back to, you know what it reminds me of is, and there's a man there. Also, there's a man coming forward. The leprechaun reminds me of Shrek. When Shrek signed a contract with Rumpelstiltskin. And Rumpelstiltskin put Shrek into an alternate reality that he did not enjoy because it was a trick. And so you're holding a peacock. And the feathers of the peacock go out like this, and they have millions of eyes on them. Don't they look like eyeballs? Mm-hmm. This is an alchemical symbol that you are taking all the colors of your life, and through physical understandings and spiritual understandings, and maybe even some subconscious ways and some invisible ways, you are taking all your colors and purifying them into white. And you're actually holding the peacock, and you're holding a pine cone. So there's a peacock and a pine cone, both. The peacock is a pineal gland, and you opening your pineal gland. I don't know if you know this, but pine cones open and close all the time, whether they're on the tree or not. I know this because I just got some I just got a pine cone, and when I go outside, sometimes they're open, sometimes they're closed. So you have lots of peacocks everywhere. You have runes, Norse mythology, Norse symbols. You have an X and an N and a W and a K. So there's Norse communications for you. You have somebody with this over their head. It's like an egg, and they are like this, and they are wearing some strange clothing, and they are standing behind a pedestal. It gives me a feeling of judgment, and I don't like the word judgment. I would prefer sorting hat from Harry Potter. So you've been sorted, and it looks like your sorting was A-okay. And I don't know if this is going to be a warning for you. Making sure that you don't sign any more contracts if that's something that we did in the past with the Rumpelstiltskin. So let's look at your outfit. Your outfit is made out of wheat or snowflakes. Nope, snowflakes. You have snowflakes everywhere. And you have the number 13. You are at 13, 12, 13. Your crown is at 13, 13 on here. This says number 1. And then the 3 is invisible. The visible, the invisible. That's why I don't listen to what anybody says about anything, because almost all human beings are speaking from the perspective of the visible world. But what about the invisible world? So this is like a simulation, and there's a dragon in there. And there's a piece of paper. It's a movie. It's a simulation. I don't know what that means yet. You have the dice has 4 dots on it. There's a man. I don't know if you can see this, but in the castle is a mirror of a castle. That exact castle has a mirror upside down. This is the upside down world. It's an illusion. And this is ice. And it glows. And you're ice skating. You're on ice skates. It's ice. You're a snow fairy. I love it. The snow fairy is so you're ice skating. This is very positive read. If you feel lost, if you feel depressed, I don't know what in the world you're thinking, because this isn't the truth at all according to your reading. You have entered Sirius B, the dog star, which is an invisible star. It is a dense star, so heavy, in fact. I don't know how they know it's heavy, but they say it's incredibly heavy. It's made up of mostly females. She is a body of time. So if you were in the body of Rumpelstiltskin in your past, a trick, an illusion, you have skated away from that illusion, and you are solidifying the crystallization of spirit within your flesh, the divine marriage, the number 4, which is very powerful. And I'm not sure who this man is, but it looks as if you have your crown and you have been judged and you've been set free. You are now in the body of a new goddess. And we need to start behaving and acting and viewing ourselves as such. Dress like an oracle. Think of yourself as an oracle. Become a teacher. Watch your thoughts. Watch many things, because this white peacock, this white snow, this purification, this white egg, and cracking open is you being illuminated from the inside out. And so this is a new world, a new kingdom. There's like little places in the background that are just really cute. So this kingdom is your kingdom, and you're in the body of a goddess. Where you came from was Rumpelstiltskin. We signed a contract, or I don't know what happened. Some jerk put us in this place. It does say R. Oh my gosh. And so we signed a contract with a deceiver like Loki. And when we did this, let me see what the contract was. I'm going to show you what the contract was. I got to get a little pen because it's a little tiny fairy. We gave Rumpelstiltskin an ankh. This little fairy is holding an ankh. An ankh means eternal life. So here is this pretty little fairy. Her wings look like snowflakes. Snowflake angel. My powers flurry to the air and to the ground. What does she say? My powers, and like a something, na 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 na. I'm never going back. The past is in the past. A lucky horseshoe from a leprechaun. Let it go. Let it go. So, there's a card. This person is holding a deck of cards and dice. You know, when I saw you throwing balls onto the lily pads, it's really dice. Throwing dice. And so this person is somebody who, I don't know, helps you. Someone, you are skating on their shoulder. They help you. And on the card is somebody skiing down a mountain. I just see snow, mountain, people. You have this symbol. You have this symbol. You have all kinds of symbols here. This symbol. It says we, W-I-I, backwards. We, W-E, W-I-I, and then W-E this way. So, I've seen this before where, when you see the word we, our way, and then we backwards, this is an upside down world, a mirror world, but the mandala effect is what this person is saying to you, is that things just change just a little bit, not like a lot. And this person standing behind it says, well, I hate saying some things. I really don't like to say certain things. I feel like I'm a liar. I don't, but you know what? Like I said, here's my disclaimer. Use it as entertainment. It's fine. So, a couple of my readings, somebody had near-death, these individuals had near-death experiences. And I saw that their soul went to either Mars or a planet, and they went through a chute, like a bank chute. And I don't know if you know this, but in Scientology, they say that Venus and Mars are stations where your soul goes to be reprogrammed and to erase your memory. So when we pass, they erase our memory of dying and put us back here into another reality or something like that. So that you have Mars down here. They say that Mars is where the males go and Venus is where the females go. But I have done a reading where a female went to Mars and they went through a chute and they were down here and then suddenly they popped up and they were up here. And what the good news is, when I see we were down here, we were small and we were under narcissistic control. But when we went through the Mars station, I think that's Mars, and they popped us back into whatever reality we're in, we're not in the same world anymore, although it feels like it, but we're not. And, but we're taller and it's like things are better in some way. So I'm not sure what happened before. This is a Rumpelstiltskin knocking on your door, asking you to give up your Ankh, your kingdom. And see the hat on their head? See the contract? See Sirius B, the dog star, Sirius C? So here's what Spirit is saying to you. You're the Snow Queen. Look at the movie Frozen again. And look at it from the perspective of a spiritual adepthood. And look at how she steps into her power and she looks at all the faces of her past and heals it and goes into her own secret kingdom and place, stays away from everyone who knew her, and to finally live in the moment and a myriad of other things. But ultimately, she used her power for the greater good and didn't carbon copy pain onto her power, because oftentimes when we are in pain, we will use our power and it will hurt ourselves and others. Like we misuse our power. If you can imagine, all of a sudden you wake up and electricity comes out of your hands and you look at your hands and then it electrocutes your face because you didn't know. That's kind of what it's like. So let's talk about this from an alchemical perspective. The Rumpelstiltskin is the deceiver. And if we are easily deceived, it's because we don't know who we are. And this deception comes and takes our power, takes our knowledge, and it can come in the form of religion, people, politics. So let's talk about it from the perspective of how we sell our souls to someone else's world, when your world isn't meant to be in theirs. Yours is your world, right? So let's start by putting Rumpelstiltskin up here. And then we're gonna, under the umbrella of Rumpelstiltskin, we're gonna put religion, politics, and we'll break the religion and politics into also mind, body, and spirit. We'll put another here. These are just a couple of examples of how we sign mental and physical contracts. Remember, there's a visible world and an invisible world. We could actually sign a contract on the invisible world through beliefs. Your mind works like the golden compass. What you focus on will connect your energy to someone's world. And if you believe what they believe so strongly, you go into their world under their control. Signing a contract with Rumpelstiltskin is believing Rumpelstiltskin. If you believe Rumpelstiltskin and he's a preacher, and you go to his church and you become part of a member of that church, but you didn't meet him on the astral realm and you don't really know who he is, but just because he had a really good service one Sunday, you decide to go ahead and become a member. And through your membership, you begin to see things that maybe you don't really like. But alas, you're already caught in the web of their energy and you feel stuck. You don't know how to get out of it. So you've signed some sort of contract with a Rumpelstiltskin because we have to learn how to collect power during the day, meet people on the astral realm, ask our higher self who someone is, because we don't fight flesh and blood, we fight principalities and powers. So it's not about a pretty face or kind words. It's about meeting someone, feeling their energy, thinking about them, knowing how to collect power during the day, dreaming about them, and knowing who they are for real, whether they are a politician or a religious leader or whatever. When you become really adept with becoming an oracle and using your mind for your world, not selling our mind to someone else's world, because the entire world is made up of mind. It doesn't matter. So when we vote for a politician, we are literally volunteering our energy to live under the dominion of their world. When we go into a church and we don't know who these people are or their behavior, we will become part of a congregation where if many people of that congregation are pedophiles or do something really evil, we will adopt their sin onto us, their karma, by mistake, because we gave permission to mesh and mingle our energy with those who don't know that their actions lead them to either descension or ascension. So when we're just thinking about religion and politics, this is how this mind control system works. Why do they put famous people in front of us all the time on a pedestal, on a magazine? Because if you think about famous people, let's give an example of a famous person. Let's say somebody I really, really love is Robin Williams. But Robin Williams had issues and all of that. When we say yes, ma'am, yes, sir, and we put someone else as more important or more talented or better than ourselves, and we put someone else on a pedestal, even signing a contract with them in whatever way, we are volunteering our energy, which is a net. Your energy is an egg, and it's a net. It's called the ethereal net. I know you've heard me say this before. And your ethereal net can get tangled in their net. That's what they want. Because if you are entangled with them, you're under their control. The allegory I always give is when Dorothy let her dog go into the garden of the Wicked Witch of the West. She became entangled in the World Wide Web. And this entanglement messed up her Taurus field in a tornado. And your house is your reality, your body. And if your house spins out of control and you find yourself in the land of Oz, dominated by the Wicked Witch of the West, that was her world, not Dorothy's. She volunteered her mind to be under the dominion of the Wicked Witch of the West. She had to learn to use her dog, which is your mind, to focus on Glinda, which is the queen, which is the ice queen, which is you. You look like Glinda. And if we follow Glinda, Glinda is your higher self, your invisible higher self, like a snowflake, white and invisible. Then our dog will expose everything that is false on the dream realm. You will see that the Wizard of Oz is full of hot air balloon. He was a false god. He hid and he lied. He was a liar. He was nice enough, but he was a liar. When we follow Glinda, which is you, we follow a bunch of secrets behind Glinda that I will reveal here. Glinda wears a crown, like you. Glinda holds a scepter of a star. Glinda comes down in a pink bubble. Okay. The Corona Borealis, Corona means crown. So Glinda reflected the Corona Borealis. The corona borealis has so many symbols associated with it. From a telescope, it looks like a pink bubble. It's surrounded by an emerald color, emerald city. The corona means crown, and it also from a distance looks like a crown and a rainbow. This crown is made up of 7 stars, like the 7 colors of the rainbow. One of the stars is called the blazing star of Solomon, and this is the scepter that Glinda holds. You might also like to know that the corona borealis is known as the labyrinth. It's a spiral that Dorothy began to walk. Because when she found herself in the land or the mind of the Wicked Witch of the West, the World Wide Web, the only escape was to follow the corona borealis, and that was the labyrinth and the spiral. So that's what's going on with you. So you're going to seek first the kingdom of God, joy, love, forgiveness, thankfulness. And you might want to listen to comedy and all of that because you're becoming pretty strong spiritually according to your reading. So that you're going to learn how to work your mind like a golden compass. So you're going to distract yourself, brainwash yourself if you have to. Avoid anything that leads you to fear or your past or your old self or the old mind, because we have to remember one thing. Our mind was never ours. When we grew up in the mind of Rumpelstiltskin, that wasn't our world. We weren't... That wasn't our choosing. It was a trick. This was the false wizard. And we come to a precipice where we're like, dang, I am somebody that my mother, father, and this world made me into. But what if I can imagine a new kingdom that I want? What if I can turn myself into someone I want to be? What if my higher self is going to tell me some secrets about myself I never knew? What if I give myself the opportunity to clear away everything I ever knew, empty myself like a holy grail, and get out of that? And that's where you are. So you tossing the stone and bouncing it like a dice. One dice is called a die. And so you're going through the die. And the die is Mars, and the die is going through dying before you die. You will never die. Your consciousness will always bounce to its appropriate timeline. People always say, "Did Jesus was crucified and all this stuff?" And I'm so sorry that our religions have lied to us for so long, or at least maybe they didn't understand what Jesus was saying. All right. When you are born again, you have a double self. Shamans call it your double. Why doesn't the Bible tell people that they have an invisible double self when they're born again? I mean, it does say in the Bible that you have another self born in high places. Yeah, but it's there. Shamans talk about it all the time. Scientists and people who know, and people on Gaia, they call it your twice-born self. It's an invisible self. And what happens is, here you are living in the world being happy, and your thoughts is what makes your world and this identity that you have. When you become twice born, you have a higher self that often comes to you as an animal. Some people say it's like a dragon. Some people say it's like a holy dove or a Holy Spirit. This is why when Jesus was baptized, a holy dove descended on his head. So the holy dove wasn't on Jesus before the baptism. This means Jesus didn't have the Holy Spirit before the baptism. The Holy Spirit descended upon Jesus after his baptism. So when we are born again and we have a double self, our double takes our consciousness and bounces us to an appropriate timeline where we don't experience death. I've seen it. And so what happens is we don't experience Mars. We don't experience the shifts, the mandala effects and the shifts. This is why Jesus said, unless you're born again, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. You have to have your double there to shift your consciousness from timeline to timeline like a butterfly effect so you don't experience death, right? So when Jesus died, he had a double self. He didn't experience death. Now, on a timeline, there are 4 timelines. In this timeline, he may have, a part of him was there, but his consciousness wasn't. His double bounced him into an appropriate timeline so he didn't experience death. This is what being born again means. And so the Rumpelstiltskin will tell you lots of lies to be in their world, to be full of fear of death, right? And so you have the number 4 on this die. And this die is something I talk about all the time. The story goes like this. I wish I had a song. Once upon a time you were born. All you knew was the physical reality and that you had a face. You were flesh. One day you started to realize there was an unseen, invisible world. You started seeing numbers, hearing songs. People started answering your questions. Questions were being answered on the radio, on the television. You were like, what is going on? I'm in La La Land. What's happening? It's the integration or the solidification of or crystallization of spirit coming into the flesh. When this happens, you're usually about 12 years old, spiritually speaking. This is why Harry was 12, Jesus was 12, Dorothy was 12 when they left a place. And this being born again, half flesh, half spirit, the spirit part is invisible. And it's a twin. They're looking at each other in like a mirror. This is a mirror. It forms the Vesica Piscis. The Vesica Piscis is the baptism of water, baptism of fire, age of Pisces, all-seeing eye, belly of the whale, where you fight God, the Holy Grail, the Ark. You're in the boat. So when you begin to hear spirit, this means you hear God for the first time. And if you obey and go along with it, then miracles begin to happen for you. But many people fight it. It is the fight of the gods. Flesh and spirit battle it out. Ego and heart battle it out. And oftentimes people are in the belly of the whale, battling God. Some people decide to empty themselves and surrender, the Holy Grail. Some people are in the water, some people are in the fire, and some people are in the boat. If you're in the boat, then you will go through all these pains. They're usually 7 pains because they are the 7 wounds of Christ and the 7 spirits of God that are in the Bible. And so this Vesica Piscis is like a snake, and it will put you through pain. Once you get through the pain and flesh and spirit work in perfect balance and harmony, and you realize that your body is a holy temple that must be kept perfected as much as possible, then like an embryo, your spirit will yet again grow again. They don't tell you this in the Bible. It's there though. It's called the Trinity. They call it the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. But if you actually read Jesus' words in Aramaic, he never says Father, Son, Holy Spirit. His prayer, the Lord's Prayer, is, O Father, Mother. He actually says, Our Father, Mother, the God Ar from Armenia. So anyway, it's Father, Mother, Spirit. And when you triple yourself, you create the triquetra. This is you starting to make your snowflake. And the triquetra is about balancing. Giving, receiving, thinking, how to think, how to feel, what to let go, what to embrace, who to be friends with, who not, what to eat, what not to eat, how to collect power, how to feed your spirit, how to starve your flesh, how to balance logic with emotion, how to balance flesh and spirit. And it's a balancing act. But suffice it to say, when you're in the threefold flame, It's a very powerful time if you learn how to use your mind, like the golden compass. And she is the invisible mother. She's always there. She's the holy dove. So you're in the boat. You let go of your raven. These are your dark thoughts. Your dark thoughts will never find home. When you purify the peacock or the white holy dove with the white color, you will find home. And so this is the number 4. Once you get really good at that and balance that, you will yet again quadruple. And this creates the olive branch. And the olive branch, oh, that was the worst one ever. Branch takes you out of a prison. So that's where you are. 4, this is the quadrupling. You will learn how to throw your die into the world of the heavens. Do not send your thoughts, which is dice, to the lower realm or into the mind of the Rumpelstiltskin who believes lies. They will knock on your door and say, hello. Yes, I have something that I'm selling here. And I'm telling you this is the truth. And all you have to do is sign on the dotted line. And no problem, you know. And so we have to learn how to protect our head. And and that's what you're doing. You're ice skating over, away from that old world. And they are knocking on your door, and you have a cat. So you're kind of connected to Freya. And you did have a whole bunch of Norse symbols here. And you just have a lot of white energy. So so you have mystery. You need to get into the mystery schools and begin to become what you need to become, and know for a fact, finally, that whatever world we came from was a BS lie. And it's time to go ahead and admit that to ourselves and allow ourselves to be powerful, because after all, Jesus said, you can be as powerful as me and more if you believe. So, what a beautiful piece, like the most amazing piece. You do have a P here, and there's an invisible dragon here, and it's putting its paw out, like scratching at the Rumpelstiltskin, like, thou shalt not pass. But it's in the glass. It's like in a hologram. I don't know how to describe it. It's not real, but it's still scratching this jerk. You have an older woman coming forward or somebody here? Somebody holding a ring. And you have a rabbit, a white rabbit. A tall white rabbit. So much white color, it's crazy. Anyway, your eyes that have stars reflects that you are changing your black pupils to white pupils and starting to see through the eyes of spirit, not the eyes of the flesh. This means on the spirit realm, you can see through other people's eyes. You can meet them on the spirit realm, and you will not be deceived anymore by someone who you don't know who they are. We don't fight flesh and blood. We fight principalities and powers. And I don't know why it says 67. But you have a hummingbird here. This is time travel. When we go back to our original power, it's like we get kind of ticked off, at the Rumpelstiltskin. And we just have to realize that we have to watch our thoughts. All right. Now, there is a number 23 on this person's head. And I don't know, it seems like they still want to talk to us. It's a little butterfly there. It had 33 and 23, both. I think that you should know that this is like a judgment, but it's according to your body language and everything that's happening, it is not bad. And I think you should just be happy about it. Just feel good about where you are. It's a really positive piece. And you have the unicorn, the horseshoe, good luck charm on your head. U for universe. It's probably one of the most positive pieces I've done in a long time. It's like, why'd you get a reading from me, huh? You're doing great. And everybody seems proud of you. I don't know who that is. But all of these energies are proud of you. All right, I'm going to look at your comments now. Yes, this is for Ashley. Somebody's asking. This is for Ashley. If you're here, though, you're meant to hear this message. Basically, we talk about a lot of things that Spirit may want. Your higher self wants to talk to you. The only way your higher self talks to you is through other people, or through media, or through books, or in a myriad of ways. So if you're here, start trusting in divine timing to know that possibly there's something here that you need to hear from Spirit. Can you guys just see the ice like glowing and the reflection of the building and the ice there? And it's just like she's skating over here like. Always love the Ankh. I have the most joy while. Oh, so you actually skate? Oh, yes. I hate being cold too. Totally hate it. But guess what? Maybe it's a blue ice. And the blue ice is a flame that looks cold, but it's not. So let's pretend that this ice is a blue flame that actually keeps you warm. And the snowflake is a flame. Because I don't like the cold either. My dad was born in Canada, and I was born near Michigan, and nope. Even when it gets cold here in Florida, if it gets in the 50s, my husband and I are not happy. 50s is freezing to us. We know likey. We get sad. We start drinking hot tea and we just can't move. We go sit by the TV. If we can't wear flip-flops and shorts, no ma'am. No sir, no way, no how. Not in the box, not with the fox, not in the train, not in the rain, not here, not there, not anywhere. Oh, you thrive in the cold? What? Isn't that so funny? Not me. If I can't swim or anything, no. It was 60 in Hawaii. My husband and I had the heater on. I love that. The cold hurts your bones. Me too. Moving from Canada to Australia this year. You see how you're ice skating away from the ice? This is you leaving Canada. So this is a really good thing for you. It's, according to your reading, it's a very good thing. Watch out for crocodiles. And also the kangaroos, they're jerks. They might fight you with boxer gloves and kick you. Oh, it was 52 here this past winter. Ooh. Every day with my open heart, and I know nothing, so I'm opening to your spirit, humble heart. Oh, I love that, Yaya. I love you, Yaya. '50s, we're outside with light jackets. Oh, that's funny, true to you, because I just sent you a glow-in-the-dark jacket today. I put batteries in it and you turn it on and it glows. I wore my glow-in-the-dark jacket. My husband and I went out to eat for the first time in like a year. We just got so tired of cooking. We were like, let's just go out. So we went out and I wore my glow-in-the-dark jacket. Just sat in the booth. It has 2 settings. You turn it on, it's just lights. It looks like you glow, like you're invisible. It's like, what? And nobody has any of these walking around. So it's like weird. It's like, where did she get that? And then it has another setting where it like literally blinks off and on. I got so many compliments on it. So when you get it in the mail, probably in a few days, make a video of it because it's so cool. And it's white like snow. And it's really a rain jacket. So you wear it in the rain, it protects you from the rain. And if you're walking at night, you can blink and look like you're a ghost shining really brightly. It's a way to communicate to your higher self that you're ready to activate your rainbow light body. And it's a light body, rainbow light body jacket that actually lights up. You'll love it. I sent you one too, Queen Karma, today. I sent it today. Oh, you're entering rain season here. Yeah, us too. It's been raining. The frogs are like, wah, 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 wah. When Shrek first came out, we were living in Atlanta, and then we moved to the swamp. And then I got older and I wasn't as pretty, and my husband and I are, like I'm almost 50, and here we live in the swamp. It's the story of Shrek. I'm like, what? What is going on here? We're living in the swamp. Getting older, I'm not the pretty princess anymore, but it's all good. I'm happier than I've ever been. I closed my readings for a week because I'm going to be doing some traveling around. We're going to be going to the springs together if it doesn't rain too much. But I'm taking a week off. I will reopen my readings on forestfairy.com within a week, so within 7 days. Today is my last reading. However, tomorrow or Saturday, tomorrow is John is going to tell us some things about how we're going to fly and use a myriad of things to defeat gravity. And he's into quantum physics, so you're going to want to not miss it. He's into runes and all kinds of fantastic things. And him and I are always on the same page. I'm the invisible one. He's the visible one. And every time we come together and he sees something in the physical with his quantum mechanic mind, I'll see it from my invisible perspective. And we are spot on the same page. So it's incredible. Yeah, now I'm a Florida swamp fairy. I got up in the middle of the night, though, because our raccoons are figuring out how to unlock the chicken door. And one of the chickens ran past my door going, bark, 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 bark. And I had to get up at 4 o'clock this morning, go save my chickens. I walked barefooted in the pouring rain looking for all my chickens because the jerk raccoon figured out how to open the lock, got in there, and all he did was eat the eggs. And I thought he ate all the chickens. They were just gone. So I found 5 chickens, brought them in my laundry room, let them stay in my laundry room for the night, and just had a restless night's sleep because the raccoons and the possums are being jerks. And then I go outside and I was walking by the swamp in the rain, barefooted, and the frogs were like, wah, 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 wah. And it was so lovely, really. It was like really great. So to conclude your reading, Ashley, you're at 13 o'clock. This means that you're becoming a master of the mystery schools. To become a master is an understanding of the World Wide Web. The master of the web is www.mmm. You will see the Starbucks logo, MM, with a star in the center. And then you will see the tail of the Starbucks mermaid have an M on one side and an M on the other side. Why is the Marauder's map MM? Why is the Master Mason MM? Why is Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene MM? Why is Mithra and Mary MM? What is the MM? Is it the Master Magician? That it is. So, when you were in the World Wide Web, the Wicked Witch of the West, suddenly you were in an illusion. And you were under the dominion of a witch, a reptilian witch. Then you bounced to Mars, and then you went to become a master of the net. The master of the net is the real world, not the illusion, which is the W. The master of the net is an understanding that M and W makes that shape. And that shape is the net. How do we know if Jesus was a master of the net? It's an Egyptian concept, right? Well, he said, let us cast our net and be fishermen of men. This entire realm is covered by a net. Your body is covered by a net, and becoming a master of the net is understanding a couple of things. 1, behind every pleasure and every pain is a sacred geometrical shape. One shape to avoid when you are a master is this. You have moved through the 7 chakras, the 7 wounds of Christ. You've stepped out of the boat, and you have transcended the eye of the needle. It is the eye of the needle. So avoid that shape. Now you're going to start getting into the triquetra. You're going to get into the 5 platonic solids. To get into the mystery schools means that you have been invited. The word mystery on your dress means welcome. You have been invited, Harry Potter. You're no longer in the Muggle world. So, now you're going to understand the 5 platonic solids. The icosahedron, the tetrahedron, the hexahedron, the dodecahedron, and the tetrahedron, if I didn't say that already anyway. The 5 platonic solids are about the 5 elements: earth, water, air, fire, and ether, which is spirit. Each platonic solid has a number associated with it. To become a master of the net is to use your mind and your imagination, like Doctor Strange, to envision a certain platonic solid around your body, around your mind, every night, every morning, using these visions to create the world that you want. Now you're a master. You can mix the dodecahedron with the tetrahedron, and you would actually figure stuff out with that mental visual. You can mix fire with water. Each platonic solid is connected to an element and a number. So welcome to the mystery schools. You will step into things that people in the World Wide Web aren't allowed to know. If a muggle were to look at you and say, you aren't supposed to be powerful learning that stuff, it's not in the Bible, you would look at them and say, expecto patronum. because joy is your strength against those who live in fear and are under the dominance of the wicked witch of the West. Jesus said you're supposed to be as powerful as him and more, but he doesn't tell you how. Well, it's not until you become born again and you hear your invisible self that this invisible self literally leads you to these concepts. So let's talk about sacred geometry. You will become a master of patterns. You will become a master of pain or pleasure. Which pattern is painful? Which pattern is pleasure? To be a master of the net is to understand the net. Geometry is geo-earth. Metra is measurement, right? Your torus field is a tetrahedron. It is associated with the number 12, and it extends 10 feet out from your heart. And it is connected to symbols like the flower of life, seeds, cells, hurricanes, and tornadoes. It is the energy, which the word energy has the word green in it. So it's connected to green and your atoms, and this is the apple. Why does your cell phone have a bite in it? Get into sacred geometry and you'll figure that out. Tetra has 3 triangles. It is connected to Tesla. It contains the Y symbol. Octahedron, hexahedron, dodecahedron, and the icosahedron all have a language, an energy, and you will start using your imagination. Your double needs your imagination, needs your actions. Actions are a prayer. So you might want to start creating these net of jewels, is what they call them. Because when you open up an icosahedron, it actually makes MW. And this is called the net of jewels. You will begin to daily visualize the grid of life design around your head to clear and block all negative energies. When you become illuminated, the dark ones cannot see you or detain you, and the rebel stilt skin cannot deceive you. So you're going to get into the color gold and to see yourself daily as a luminous color of gold. You might want to activate your cave of Brahma by understanding spiritual planes, the divine plane, the casual plane, the mental plane, the emotional plane, and the physical plane. You might start to see yourself inside the tetrahedron or the icosahedron and what these symbols actually mean. So every human has the ability to affect the material world via sacred geometry. There's a flame that ignites above our heads when we become twice born, because we are the crown of creation. We are asleep but must awaken divine consciousness. We are reduced to a microcosmic level, and we have to focus like a laser light, a 0-point energy, on activating our energetic field with sacred geometry. So these are things that I've been studying, and since you are getting into the mystery school, this is something you will be studying. So you will walk on water, raise the dead. And isn't it funny that you're walking on water, but the water's frozen? What? Who says that Jesus walked on water, but that maybe the water was frozen? See, we just need to think outside the box, maybe. So, what a wonderful read for you. Let's see if you have any questions. You did have energies come forward here for you to let you know that you're not alone and that you moving away from the cold. Good. Who this is? It may be someone from your past. It may be someone from your future. We shall see. You're welcome. The Mr. E on the dress it means mystery schools. I don't know why Spirit spells it that way. They just do every time. Not just once, every single time. It may have another meaning. Remember, Spirit, they're telepathic. This is a telepathic vision. We created a television through Spirit. This can mean many, many things. Not just mystery schools. Let me show you. Let me get my book here. Hold on. Where did my book of runes go? I must have moved them. Down here. Anyway, they may be runes. MR. But that's for you to investigate. This art is like a magical square. It helps you. And you investigating some things will help you. I will tell you that mystery is about you being accepted into the mystery schools. You're ready to be clear of all that is false. Just don't answer the door if Spirit says no. Learn to hear what Spirit says. Learn to notice how Spirit talks to you all the time. If you have a question, pops into your head, well, I wonder if I should be friends with this person. And it just so happens to be the setting of the sun. You just so happen to be facing west. You hear a train in the background. Many things. Nature and just living in this moment will tell you yes or no. Because you had that question in this very moment. Spirit will answer you in this very moment if you look around. Like my husband shooting a gun. You can hear the gunshot in the background. Yes, thank you. If you want to rewatch this, thank you, Queen Karma. You go to Mary Moses Art on my YouTube channel. Oh, okay. So this is a woman with her ring. It's a woman. Her name may be Meme, or something, but that's somebody, and this person is, I believe, part of your future, because you and him are facing the same way. But I don't know that for a fact. Because he's down there and you're up here, makes me think he's from your past. But these symbols on here are a communication. So I'm not really sure. Does her laces spell something? It says ABA. ABA, and then the clock. Her laces make a clock, and the clock is at 1:55, which is the number 11. Oh, Mimi. Okay, yeah, that would make sense. Mimi, that's Mimi. If you're new to my page, my name is Mary Moses. I'm an oracle. I do an ancient art technique called scrying. It's basically taking a piece of paper, covering it with charcoal, and we create a telepathic vision. We speak to deceased loved ones, spirit guides, and we talk about where you are spiritually and where you're going. Spirit is in control over what we see, and so we just talk about them, and we look at the symbols, and although I've been doing this for a long time, I'm pretty adept with symbology. There are those who could look at this and see a completely different story, or even tell something from a planetary understanding. So for instance, if your face, like if this is the universe with the letter U, like Uranus, if the letter U is Uranus and your face has 2 stars, and let's say it's Venus, your voice has a rainbow bridge. This means that you help bridge people to understanding and truth to make it to their own world, the mystery schools. And his face may be a planet. I mean, it says Mars. That face looks like an egg. That is a planet. That could be a planet. Even though her, I'm guessing it's your grandmother, Mimi, named Mimi, came forward to talk to her. Spirit talks in layers, like these cards that he's holding. Cards. One of these has one meaning, but behind that meaning are 5 other meanings. So this grandmother could be a planet. That she is where she is with the dog stars telling you she's on Sirius, be the dog star. Somehow. And this could be a planet. This could be a place on a realm. So these are communications that I don't like to go into too much detail because you need to also learn to hear what Spirit has to say and look at them from your own heart to understand what it means to you. I mean, it's definitely a positive read that you're moving away from the land of the cold and going to a warmer client. It may be that you're skating on someone's shoulder. You're going to have some allies that will help you there as well. A male energy. Doesn't mean a love affair, might be a friend. So these are futuristic conversations from God to you. They are also reflective of your past. Looks as if your past began here. You would go up and around this way, like the letter U this way, and then you have the upside down U above your head. The symbol of the square is squaring your emotions and your beliefs to be in alignment with truth and life. It's the energy of Thoth. It's the symbol of the Freemason symbol. I think that the Freemasons have a lot of things correct, but they may have become corrupt. So I don't know what your belief is about the Freemasons. But I just know that the 2 compass and square is about squaring emotions and beliefs into going into alignment so that you know the truth in the physical and the spirit realm by seeing it immediately. It's called the art of discernment, of knowing what is true and what isn't. Part of receiving your reading is to encourage you to push you into your heart, because you should not continue to seek outside of yourself for answers. You have the answers within you. And that's why you chose me, is to push you. And that's my job, is to push you like on your skates into not being dependent on anyone for answers but yourself. When we began the reading, I sang the song, "A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view." And I think that was probably for you as well. It's going to be a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. Remember that when you're talking about giving and receiving, thinking and creating with your thoughts and your actions and everything, it is a communication of male and female. Male is electric, female is magnetic. That the male is down here and the female is up here. It may be a communication about your divine marriage. The divine marriage of flesh and spirit, or male and female, is learning to cast your thoughts out to the appropriate place so that you receive the appropriate answer. And so if the male isn't the same size as you, then there's a little work to do for you to bring giving and receiving. My interpretation of giving and receiving is seek first the kingdom of God, and all the things will be added unto you. Balance your body, your diet, your thoughts, and your emotions to go into alignment with spirit, and learn how to protect yourself and give. Feed your spirit and give only when you have enough to give, but constantly feed yourself and constantly watch where you're allowing your thoughts to go of yourself or others. And then your male and your female will become the same size. That may be a communication for you. I'm not sure. Yes. We all have to be pushed. Mama's gonna push you. I'm gonna push you so you don't feel lost. If you all of a sudden find yourself lost out in the forest with no food and no communication, are you gonna know what time it is by looking at the sun? All good mommies and daddies must prepare our children, and I'm not calling you my child. I'm just saying that as moms and dads of the universe, as moms and dads of our own world, we have to prepare ourselves for the time when we don't have outside help, and know what time it is just by looking at the sun, and know whether to trust somebody or trust an organization or whether to sign our name to something. We need to know the difference between the Rumpelstiltskin and those that are genuine and authentic. If you guys missed my live yesterday with my daughter, we talked about raising our children to be powerful, to not need anyone, to not be codependent. We talked about how parents often push their kids to do bad things or to think badly about themselves or others and turn them into a bad person because they are projecting their own insecurities on their kids and they don't want their kids to leave them. So the best way to keep your child right under your wing is to make them weak in some way. And so if you missed that live, make sure you follow me on Mary Moses Art on my YouTube channel. And it's very informative, where my daughter talks about how we see parents who do this to their child, where the child is completely and utterly under the dependence of religious organizations or ideals because they're so lost. And they have lost so much personal power that they depend on others so much. And how it's really difficult to live in a world where we see these kids. These kids are angry and lonely and so many things, and parents don't even know what they're doing, right? So don't miss that. That was really good. And my daughter and I are going to be going live every Thursday to talk about, how to raise ourselves with power as our own mother and father, balancing our emotions and our logic and all of that so that we do not leave ourselves high and dry, weak and vulnerable. So I hope you took a screenshot. If you didn't, I will be glad to send you a copy, a tab that you can look at this further. You can not only investigate some of the symbols that have come forward, you could actually look and see some new things yourself. I encourage all of you guys who receive a reading from me to become an oracle and try your hand at seeing. You can rewatch this video on my YouTube channel by tomorrow, Mary Moses Art, and you can pause it when I finish covering it with charcoal and take a screenshot and print it out and try to see a million other things that Spirit might want to say to you. It's fun. Become a master. And that's what this reading is about. Becoming a master of our minds, our hearts, and a master of creating worlds. Not allowing some jerk to come and say, oh, no, you don't need your world. Come into my world. And you're like, no. How about no? Yeah, thank you so much. It is tough. I know it's so tough. It's not easy. There's some days when you feel like jumping off a cliff and I'll look at you and say, I'll jump with you. I'm feeling the same way you are. You know, we have our low times, but don't fuss at yourself for having those low times. Low times are very beneficial as long as we don't indulge in victimhood. If we can take that low vibe, make ourselves a cup of hot tea, do some qigong, some sort of yoga, and just stretch it out, dance it out, cry it out, whatever, and then move on. Realizing that we often adopt thoughts and feelings from other people because we were thinking about someone who doesn't know how to illuminate themselves from the inside out. These are some of the concepts that go behind the mystery schools. Oh, thank you so much, Yaya. I love you. I know, it's so much going on with our bodies and with the downloads, it's very difficult to catch up. And I'm seeing that we should be having salt by our bed, and you guys get into look up negative ions versus positive ions. Look up balancing your pH. Look up what happens if you're dehydrated. Look up all kinds of things. We are being asked at this time to treat our holy temple as a holy temple with what we drink and eat and how we activate our body with salt crystals and how we transmute negative energies using crystals and salt water. So watch some of my videos because I'm helping you guys to make it easier for you by this age of Aquarius is a time where you're thinking about someone, you will literally adopt their illness. You will adopt their thoughts, their feelings, and their emotions. And so we have to keep ourselves pure like the white peacock. Otherwise, when people tap into you, they'll get something that isn't nice. So we have to keep ourselves like a lighthouse so that when people tap into us, they heal. We heal them. And that's what I try to do every day. I'm not perfect, and you won't be perfect either. It's okay. If you get sad, I'll cry with you. If you want to jump off a cliff, I'll jump off the cliff with you. But I will have a parachute, and I won't tell you. It'll be a secret. I'll hold your hand, and I'll say, you ready to go? And you'll say, yeah. I'll say, let's say goodbye, cruel world, you jerk. And we go run, and we hold our hands so tight, and we jump, and we close our eyes, and all of a sudden, we feel the tickle in our belly, and we're like, this is the end. I wonder if it's going to hurt or not. And suddenly, whoosh, we go right back up. I had a parachute. And then I look at you and I say, shh, it's okay, because guess what? We are leaving the jerk world. This place that we're going to land is a castle, and it has authentic, happy people that are like children. And you can be wrong there, and you can be right there. Nobody's going to make fun of you. No, everybody has a gentle, authentic, childlike heart. We play, we have fun, we're not egotistical, and you will be loved, and you will have prosperity, and you will want for nothing. And you will have freedom, and you may be a tender of gardens. You may be someone who makes snowflakes. Whatever it is, this is a place that we created with our own minds, and this is the master of the net. So guys, I do need to go ahead and go and call my second appointment. My second appointment is from Canada as well. Isn't that funny? It always happens in 2s or 3s. When it rains, it pours. But when the sun is shining, it shines everywhere and makes you warm in your heart and giggle and laugh. So I will be back in about 5 minutes to do another reading. And I really enjoyed this reading. I think it was encouraging not only for Ashley, but for me and for you, that we're moving past the Rumpelstiltskin. Let's poke the Rumpelstiltskin. There, that feels good. You jerk. Quit knocking on our door. You're a liar, all right? We're going to truth now. We're happy now. All right. Love you guys. We'll see you in 5 minutes. Bye-bye.